All right, so we left off with Odysseus and Athena going their separate ways. The Cyclops has been dealt with for now. Odysseus made probably the biggest mistake of the story, which is telling the Cyclops his name and letting him live, sparing his life after blinding him. So, this is where we're at. This is sort of the state of affairs right now. So, picking up from there, we are starting the Ocean Saga. This is called Storm. Ooh, that's bum 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 bum.
Have grown in strength and size. Is it nature or divine or a blessing in disguise?
It's not a blessing.
Our homes inside. The storms are
And this is a completely different art style from any of the ones we've seen so far.
Brace for a storm. The likes of which we've never seen before. Brace for a storm.
So this must have been months since they left the island of Polyphemus. Because if they can see Ithaca, here we go, Eurylochus. God, he's such a naysayer.
Grab the harpoons, as many as you can find.
Oh, no. This is... Is this meant to be the island of Aeolus? It's a floating island, but in the sense that it's floating on the water like a boat. Not that it's floating in the sky. Oh, okay. Okay, alright, I'll give you this one. I feel like that's in the same boat as, like, making the sirens mermaids. Like, it's just... I get the mistake. That has more to do with, like, conflating stories of sirens with, like, selkies. But, okay, fine. It's in the sky now.
What do you have in mind? We're gonna shoot for the sky. What?
Valid.
Everyone grab a harpoon and aim it high.
I do love the chanting.
We're shooting for the island in the sky.
No,
In the sky.
I'm pretty sure that was a Hamilton reference. The... Alright, so this is the first song that, despite I did like it, I really like the song itself. Probably the most fillery song so far. I would say this is one of those songs where I'm like, probably could have either been completely cut or trimmed to maybe half the length. We get it. There's a really bad storm. They find this floating island. They're gonna get up on top of it. They're gonna climb up. Okay. You could have done that in about a minute. You chose to do it in about 3. So, But it had a really good beat. It had a real, like, I love the chanting. I love the instrumentals. All sounded really, really good. Again, it's not an actual floating island. It's floating on the water surface.
Please don't tell me you're about to do what I think you'll do.
All right, here we go. Eurylochus.
For the legends of the island in the sky, this proves they're true.
What? No, no,
We're in
it's
the home of the wind god.
no, 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 no. One, there aren't any legends of islands floating in the sky. That's not what that's not what that is. It's floating on the surface of the water. Means that it moves around. It doesn't have a fixed location. And two, Aeolus is not a wind god. He's not even a god. He's the keeper of the four winds because there are four separate primordials of the wind. Is it, do I remember them? Boreas, Zephyrus. Hold on, let me look it up. Four winds in Greek mythology are the Anemoi. Boreas, Zephyrus, Nodos, and Euros. Okay. So I remembered Boreas and Zephyrus. It's Nodos and Euros, I forgot. So okay, so he can put all of the winds into a bag. And he puts Boreas, Nodos, and Euros into a bag and leaves Zephyrus, the calm the calm west wind, which is a nice, calm, gentle breeze, to get them home safely. No storms, no catastrophes, no giant waves. Everything's calm. He himself, however, is not a god.
How many floating islands have you seen before? This is the home of the wind god.
It is not.
What's your plan?
I'm gonna climb to the top and ask him for a hand.
You could be caught off guard and lose your life, or piss off this god and infuse us with strife. Don't forget how dangerous the gods are.
Okay, so most classicists, most people who read the Odyssey, not a fan of Eurylochus. I'm kind of on his side on this one. Again, Aeolus is not a god. But if he was a god, do you really want to take the risk of pissing him off? Because at this point, Odysseus, whether he knows it or not, has already pissed off one god. Technically, he's pissed off two in this, because he's also pissed off his mentor, who's decided to fuck off. So, and the Greek gods can be very fickle. So this is not an invalid criticism or warning. So am I siding with Eurylochus on this? Top things I didn't think I would say.
Have faith, friend, we've come this far.
Yes, but how much longer till you're
And you can't be doing this. Okay, but Eurylochus, you can't be saying this in front of the crew.
How much longer till we all fall down? You rely on wind and people die on it. Whoa.
I still believe in goodness.
There's the polities.
I still believe that we could be kind. Lead from the heart and see what starts.
And what will we do when it tears us apart?
Where is the
Oh, that's a clever little callback. He's wearing Polites' headband.
could be kind. Lead from the
At least in this one.
and see what starts.
And what will we do when it tears us apart?
Where is this coming from, my friend?
I just don't wanna see another life end. You're like the brother I could never do without.
Which makes sense since they're technically brothers-in-law.
And suddenly you doubt that I could figure this out.
Captain, how much longer till your luck runs out? How much longer till the show goes out?
That's interesting. Okay, I'm trying to catch little motifs as we go. Okay, so Athena's musical instrumentation is really unique to her. Like, her main instrument is a piano, but then there's like a ticking clock effect, and there's like a warping, like rewinding music as it's like being pulled towards you sound effect that's being added. Odysseus, it sounds like his instrument is an acoustic guitar. Eurylochus, I'd been listening to his from what was the song? 600 men. 600 men under my command. That song. I forget the name of it. It sounds like he doesn't have an instrument. It sounds like the instrument is his crew, or is the crew. Every time he sings, he gets a call back. He gets like a call and response from the crew. That's interesting. Listen to it.
How much longer till
So on how all the crew is singing with him.
we all fall down? You rely on which and
Everybody's
people
singing.
die on it. Whoa, how much longer till the snake breaks free? How much longer till your great day sees? How much longer till your strength takes leave? You rely on which and people die on it. Whoa.
Low blow.
Thank you for the concern, but brother, I can assure you, our journey is almost done. I understand that we're tired, I understand that we're phased, but don't forget how much we've already faced. I took 600 men to war, and not one of them died there. In case
That's a stretch. I don't remember in the myth any specifics, but 10 years in war, come on. And even if that's the case, you've definitely lost men now. You lost Polites, you lost at least 6 men to the Cyclops.
you needed a reminder, if you'd like to speak more, let me pull you aside then. I need to talk to you in private.
Okay, good. This, no ship captain would accept this. Like, this is openly questioning and undermining his authority in front of the crew. Now, if you have these kinds of concerns in any kind of situation, and his, in this case, I would argue are valid, you pull him aside and you talk to him privately. You do not do this in front of people who look to him for leadership, because now they have it in their head, can we really trust him? This, especially when you're risking your life, because sailing back then in those days without the modern convenience, even today, is dangerous. If you've never watched Deadliest Catch. But back then especially, you would not do this. So he's probably gonna scold him.
I can't have you planting seeds of doubt.
Yep.
I can't have you disagreeing each route. I need you to always be devout and comply with this, or we'll all die in this. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, as I said before, Eurylochus spends most of the book either plotting and not plotting, but like planning against Odysseus, constantly questioning and undermining him, making terrible decisions, gets a lot of the men killed, disregarding or disobeying Odysseus's orders. It's a running thing in the book. Here, I feel like they're making an attempt at making Eurylochus a lot more sympathetic, because you understand exactly what his reasoning is for all of this. So that's nice. This song is definitely setting up what's going to happen between them later. So it's an important song. I would not put this in my favorites so far. Um, I do like the chanting. I like the call and response. I like these elements. I felt like this song maybe didn't need to be as long as it was. I sort of feel the same for Storm. I think they could have combined Storm and this song, and you would have had the same effect. Maybe that's just me. Maybe this is your favorite song and you wholeheartedly disagree with me. That's perfectly okay. Okay, so Merxie is back. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Great wind god
Aeolus is he's the keeper of the winds. Oh my god. Again, I really like this art style.
I ask for your assistance so we at last can go the distance.
That's a lot of upper body strength. I couldn't do it. Why are you female? Okay, whatever. Okay. Aeolus is a man. He's a king. He's the king of Aeolia. He's the keeper of the four winds. He's not a god, not a woman. He's not made out of air. But you know what? I'm just gonna have fun with it. Just roll with it. That little laugh, though, was very impish, very trickster esque. I'm going to assume that this is because Aeolus in the book is very hesitant. He's a good person. He's hesitant to help Odysseus because he suspects that he clearly has a god out to get him, and he doesn't really want to stick his neck out and risk a god's anger over Odysseus. And when things happen, you know, and he gets blown back to the island of Aeolia and asks for another bag of wind, Aeolus is like, "Oh God, no! You're cursed. No, get off my island." Right? Because he realizes this kind of crap happening to you is clearly because a god is mad at you. Um, so I think this is just an interesting take. Again, these are way less egregious changes than what I'm used to when covering versions of the Odyssey, so I'm not particularly mad. So I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy it.
Ha ha ha! I am the wind, twisting and turning. I give the fire enough to stay burning. Let's play a game.
A game?
That's what I'm serving, and if you win, you will get what you're yearning.
Deal.
Take a look right here at this bag. It has the winds of the storm all trapped. All you gotta do is not open this bag.
Sounds too easy, what's the catch?
Ha ha ha! Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Never really know who you can trust. If they wanna get the bag open, you gotta say no, sir. Sometimes killing is a must.
What? Okay, so yes, so he's given a bag with 3 out of the 4 wins, in order to make it so that it's a calm, easy, straight shot home. And he's told, "Do not open this bag. Whatever you do, keep the bag closed." That's all he has to do. Guess what doesn't happen? Now that little line. So this whole song is completely different from how it happens in the actual story. Here, it looks like the whole point of the song is that she's trying to teach him a similar lesson to what Athena was saying. Like you can't think with your heart, you have to think with your head. And sometimes people that you're close to are the very people you need to watch out for. So listen to me. Keep your friends closer and enemies closer. Never really know who you can trust. Sometimes killing is a must. The implication being, if anybody tries to open up the bag, it's better that you kill one man to avoid the bag opening than what happens if you open up the bag.
Cause the end always justifies the means. Friends turn to foes in rivalry. So keep your friends close and your enemies close.
What are these little floaty things? They look like the lotus eaters.
Captain, what's happening? What's trapped in that bag? Something dangerous, friends, we mustn't lag.
It's treasure.
Okay, that's an interesting change. They get it into their own head that he's hoarding treasure for himself, which is one of the reasons I don't always like the fact that they skip the island of Ismaris, because it makes a big point of saying that Odysseus, after they raided the island, divided up the loot equally among all of his men. He didn't even take a bigger share because he's king. So it sort of sets up this idea that, like, why would you even think that he would hide all this gold in a sack? You've seen what he does when he actually has gold. He shares it. He's a generous king. It's sort of a thing where it's interesting that here it's the little floaty things that work for Aeolus that say, or put that little seed into their head, it's treasure. Mind you, in the book, he doesn't ever tell them what is actually in the bag. He just tells them, don't open it.
Bye-bye.
Open the bag.
Let's see what you got.
No, do not. Everybody listen closely. See how this bag is closed. That's how it's supposed to be. This bag has the story.
Okay, so here he does say it. He tells them what it is.
Rumor fly.
We'll try.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Never really know who you can trust.
Now I wanna get the bag open so they can have closure.
Sometimes seeking is
And of course, Eurylochus is like, come on, let's just open it. Oh, low blow.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
These pendejos are the reason that all of this goes south. One of the major reasons. How many days?
For 9 days I've stayed wide
Yeah, that's accurate.
awake at home with no storm or tidal wave. I remain unopposed. The bag is still closed and I'm getting closer to you. I can't wait to make some new memories.
Aww.
Time for me to be the father I never was. Just keep your eyes open. Why
She's got glasses too.
my heart and my soul so heavy? Just keep your eyes open. I keep on trying to embrace you both. Why won't you let me? Just keep your eyes open. So much has changed, but I'm the same. Yes, I'm the same.
That's such an interesting line. So much has changed, but I'm the same. Yes, I'm the same. It almost sounds like he's trying to convince himself. Because he's not the same. He's not the same person. He spent 10 years in constant fear for his life, killing and potentially, being killed. And now he's facing off against monsters and potentially gods. I mean, I don't know. I think that's an interesting thing for him to be worried about. That they won't let him embrace them because he fears that maybe he's changed so much that he's not worthy anymore. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. I could be reaching. And he's fallen asleep.
Wake up.
Did they tie him to the rudder? They tied... Malditos pendejos. Ah.
Where's the storm taking us?
Oh, a little callback. Full speed ahead. Are we going to the Laestrygonians? Please tell me we're going to the Laestrygonians. Okay, side complaint. Absolutely side complaint. Has nothing to do with the musical at all. But in the trailer for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, we see the Laestrygonians. And they are relatively regular size, maybe slightly larger than normal guys in 1500s plate armor made from aluminum, like tin cans. What? No! The Laestrygonians are a race of literal giant cannibals. Like, huge. They are children of Poseidon. Like Polyphemus. They should all be Polyphemus size. And they certainly should not be wearing plate armor. So if they show us the Laestrygonians, I'm going to be very happy. So they're getting sent to the island of the giants. That's not how that works. But okay. Oh, that's interesting. His ship has has Athena's owl on it. Oh no.
Do you know who I am?
Poseidon. Okay. In the myth, he doesn't encounter Poseidon per se. But okay. Okay. Might as well at this point. This is not a bad point in the story to reveal the main antagonistic force in the Odyssey. So let's see how they do it. They gave him like Ursula tentacles.
Poseidon. In all my years of living, it isn't very often that I get pissed off. I try to chill with the waves, but damn, you crossed the line. I've been so gracious, and yet you hurt the son of mine.
Oh! I think I found my favorite voice. Ooh, okay, pushing that back. First of all, I love this design for Poseidon. Like his hair and beard all flow like waves. The tentacles, nice. Very Ursula. But his voice, the grit, the rasp, feels like he's been gargling salt water, which makes sense. He's the god of the ocean. But damn, that sounds good. Listen.
I tried to chill with the waves, but damn, you crossed the line. I've been so gracious, and yet you hurt the son of mine.
The way he says hurt.
Gracious, and yet you hurt the son of mine.
Ooh.
That's right, the Cyclops you made blind is mine.
So at this point, Odysseus should know that. He should be well aware.
No. I'm left without a choice and without a doubt. Yes, the battle wolves are swimming with the shark now.
That's an interesting reference and a very esoteric one. I would not expect most people to even know this, which means Jorge has definitely done his research. He says the pack of wolves is swimming with the shark now. So pack of wolves, this is a reference to Odysseus's grandfather, whose name is, oh my god, Odysseus' grandfather. I believe it's Arcesius. Is it Arcesius? No, that's not the one. Which one is it? Is it Autolycus? I think it's Autolycus. His name literally means the wolf himself. He was a trickster and a thief. Um, and if I remember correctly, he is he is he related to Hermes? I know Odysseus is the great grandson, I think, of Hermes. But um, so like that, sometimes you get some stories where the house of Odysseus is and the family are referred to as the wolves because of this being like, I think it's his, is it his paternal grandfather? I'm not sure. But I do remember that little story, and it's such a little esoteric thing to make a reference to. I would not expect anybody to know that.
I gotta make you bleed. I need to see you drown. But before you go, I need to make you learn how ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Ourselves. You are the worst kind of good, cause you're not even great.
Ooh.
A Greek who rigs a false righteousness, that's what I hate.
Oh, again the grit in his voice. I'm gonna. This is going on my Spotify.
Who rigs a false righteousness, that's what I hate.
Ooh, the way he says that.
Cause you fight to save lives, but won't kill and don't get the job done.
Accurate.
I mean, you totally could have avoided all this had you just killed my son.
Yep.
But no.
Ooh,
this
okay.
had you
Look at the face he makes. I love this. He's like, but no. Like, oh.
just killed my son. But no. You are far too nice. Mercy has a price. It's the final crack. We're about to break the ice now. You reveal your name, then you let him live. Unlike you, I've got no mercy
Again,
left
bonehead
to
move.
give, 'cause
I push back on the idea that he did this out of mercy. But if that's the thesis that they're going to go for, ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves, which is what the line says, this is going to be that juxtaposition or counterpoint to greet the world with open arms. You can't really greet the world with open arms if you are discarding mercy. Because when he says ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves, basically, if something is a threat and you stamp it out completely, you remove the opportunity for the person that you showed mercy to come back and betray that mercy, to come back and attack you again. Right? You can't get hurt if you aren't attached or close to anybody, if you're not showing that kind of mercy, because that mercy can come back to haunt you. Which in this case it very much does.
ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves.
Love this voice.
Ruthlessness is mercy upon
Are those gonna be? Why is that Cetus?
And now it is finally time to say goodbye.
Ooh.
Today you die.
Nope. Oh nope. Full body goosebumps.
Ourselves. And now it is finally time to say goodbye. Today you die. Unless, of course, you apologize.
He's not
for
doing
my
that.
son's pain and all his cries. Poseidon, we meant no harm. We only hurt him to disarm him. We took no pleasure in his pain. We only wanted to escape. The line between naivety and hopefulness is almost invisible.
You notice that wasn't an actual apology? It was him making excuses, him justifying himself, minimizing what he did. It wasn't an apology. An apology would have been like, Poseidon, I'm sorry for the pain that I caused your son. I'm sorry for the pain that he caused you. I had my reasons for what I did, but those have no bearing on the amount of suffering that I've caused. I ask that you please show mercy to myself and my crew. That would be much closer to an apology. What he said was not that.
Naivety and hopefulness is almost invisible, so close your heart. The world is dark.
So, keep your heart open, keep your arms open, versus close your heart, the world is dark. Come on, this is perfect counterposition.
And ruthlessness is die.
So again, I don't know if these are meant to be the Laestrygonians, because that wouldn't be it. I don't know if this is meant to be Cetus. What creature is destroying the ships? What destroys the ships are the Laestrygonians in the myth, but they do so by chucking giant boulders at the ships and sinking them. But the effect is the same. He only gets one ship left. Should only be one left.
What have you done? When does a ripple become a tidal wave? 43 left under your command. Does a man become
Oh, the callback. Oh! Ugh, so much. Okay, sorry. I love me a good callback, and that was 2 for the price of 1. So actually, three. So, to the same beat, slowed down to of 600 men under my command. He says 43 left under your command.
when does a ripple become
Actually, 4 references, because I forgot. When does a ripple become a tidal wave is from When Does a Man Become a Monster? That song.
43
Left under your command. Does a man become a monster? I am your darkest moment. Okay, so that is a reference to Remember Them. When Odysseus says to the Cyclops, I am your darkest moment, after blinding him. So that means that in this, the Cyclops went and told Poseidon in excruciating detail for Poseidon to have that phrase to throw back at Odysseus, throw it back in his face. That is beautiful writing. This whole song, this is shooting up to the top of my favorite so far.
the monster that always draws near.
Oh, that voice.
Any last words?
All I gotta do is open this bag.
What?
So again, that's not how it works. Once the bag is open, it's open. You can't close it back up and save some of the wind. But okay, whatever.
Remember me.
Like, remember, yep. So many callbacks here. All right, so I'm just gonna say it. Ruthlessness, officially probably my favorite song so far. I'm a sucker for good callbacks. I'm a sucker for good vocals, and my God, that gravelly rocker boy texture to his voice, absolutely amazing. I don't think there's a single element of that I didn't like. Poseidon just straight up reading him like a book and throwing the book at him. I think within the context of the musical, he knew Odysseus was not going to apologize. The only thing I didn't like was the fact that the thing that destroyed the ships was some sort of tentacle monster in this video. It should be the Laestrygonians. And if they got blown to the island of the giants, so what happens in the book is that all of the ships are basically in this cove. The island has like this bowl-shaped harbor, and Odysseus in his boat is the last one in line, right? So it can back out and leave and it can escape. But all of the other ships can't. There's not enough space and they're all trying to get out at once. So they end up slamming into each other and being tightly packed. And the Laestrygonians take these huge boulders and hurl them down from the top of the hills and cliffs above the island and sink all the ships. So only Odysseus' ship remains. If I was gonna, again, nitpicking, things have to change for the musical for any adaptation to make sense. I get it. I love this. I absolutely adored this. Um, I like the vocals for Aeolus as well from the previous song. I like the fact that her instrument seems to be like a flute or maybe some sort of wind instrument. Makes sense, right? Like I said, Storm and um, Luck Runs Out could have probably been a bit shorter. I do think that Luck Runs Out is probably the more important of the two, though, for setting up the uh, conflict between Eurylochus and Odysseus, and setting up their bond as well, like what the relationship dynamic is supposed to be. So far, I'm really enjoying this. So from here, let me see. Okay, it goes. It's the Circe saga. Okay, so we're gonna go to Circe now. So I will stop it here, and I'll divide this again. I'll divide it up by sagas as we go. Um, so far, this has been my favorite song. I think the one that was the most emotional to me was Just a Man. That was the only one so far that has made me shed a tear. You're killing a baby, okay? Cut me some slack. But I have been told that this musical will kick me in the feels, so I'm mentally preparing for it. So, so far, so far it's been really good. I've enjoyed every song. The amount of talent on display here for people that I can only assume are not professionals, right? If they're putting it on TikTok and YouTube rather than like putting an actual stage production on. But it could be. This could easily be a proper stage production. It all the songs are really good quality. The vocals, the the musical themes, the motifs that are being used, the themes, the actual like story themes that are being played with and how they're being used and balanced out in the story and the pacing, all of it's being done so well. So I would be shocked if this didn't get an amazing adaptation if it's true that it's being made into a animated movie. I hope that they use some of these animatics as storyboards for maybe like the designs for some of the characters. I really hope they go for this crazy design for the Cyclops. That thing looked sick. No, there's just a whole bunch. I'm loving this. I cannot thank Aaron enough for this. This has been great. All right, it's getting late. I might do the Circe saga. No, you know what? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I will stop here and then I will do the rest tomorrow. So I'm picking up at the Circe saga. So I'll see you guys shortly. Adios.